Hi guys, I'm happy to see you here again. My name is Amanda Oakling and today's our topic is about mousses. We will talk about mousses types, which is base, and we will make a fantastic raspberry meringue mousse in the end. Let's make this sweet pastry world a little bit more extraordinary. The mousse, it's very soft and fluffy cream. And the majority of mousses are combination of whipped cream and the base. These bases could be ganache, fruit, berries and pastry creams. I put all these bases in 3 big groups. Very often the stabilization for mousses is using a gelatin. You can watch my previous video here and where we talk about difference of the powdered gelatin and gelatin on sheets. But today we will talk about mousses, and I know it's very difficult to theory right now, but I want to tell you about it. It's important to know. In my head, I put 3 groups of bases. What is these bases? One of the most common, and which is my favorite one, it's chocolate ganache base. So you make a chocolate ganache, add whipping cream in it, and you have a mousse. The easiest mousse, it's with only 2 ingredients. Dark melted chocolate, whipped cream, you put it together and you have a fantastic fluffy chocolate cream. But it's not stable. You can use it on the fast desserts in the evening, for example. But it's not suitable for the freezing and putting on the mousses. That's why for this base could be with many different ingredients. Chocolate, butter, gelatin. You use a base and then add to whipping cream. Let's talk about second group. It's a pastry creams. And in this word pastry creams, there is a different types of creams. It could be custard, lemon custard and other fruit custards, muslin cream, diplomat cream, classic patisserie cream, which is vanilla pastry cream. Actually, in this group, I'm putting caramel too, and I love this mousse. Listen, you have to make a caramel, add in there gelatin, and then mix together with whipping cream. It's very light and caramelly cream. It's easy to make. I think I will show you maybe later in some other videos. And then here is a third group of the mousses. It's fruit and puree mousses. It could be only 2 ingredients, for example, raspberry or strawberry puree, and you add it to the whipped cream. Sounds very easy, right? But I have to say that this is not the best option because there is very high content of the water. There is only water, which is puree, and just a little bit fats. And in this mousse, there is no fats, there is no emulsifiers and dry ingredients, which is get together all this mousse. And very often, that's the problem why these mousses get dull and lumpy and the glaze comes from the mousse cake off just because there's too much water. And what is doing pastry chefs? They are adding there too big amount of the gelatin to stick together this water, but that is a mistake. When you have too much gelatin in your mousse, it gets jelly, thick, and you don't have this smoothie, creamy consistency, texture in your mousse, and that's the problem. How to solve it? I will show you today a raspberry meringue mousse, because there is only 2 solutions how to make fruity mousses light and fluffy. One option, you can add in there a chocolate. So the base will be puree, chocolate, and then you add whipping cream. And the other option is adding a meringue, Italian meringue with puree, there is more stabilization, more air, and then you add with whipping cream. This is very good mousse for cakes, for desserts, for tarts, for example. Let's do it right now. For the raspberry mousse, we need some tools. You will need an oven because we have to cook sugar syrup. You need a thermometer. We will measure temperature. And hand mixer. I prefer in this use a hand mixer because it's a very small amount of egg whites and stand mixer will not do it correctly. And for ingredients, we need a double cream, heavy double cream, 30 to 35% of fat. Then gelatin mass, 4 grams of gelatin and 20 grams of water. Raspberry puree, it could be with berries or without berries, how you prefer. I love the seeds, that's why I have it there. And 1 egg, it will be about 35 grams of egg whites and we will measure it. And that's it, let's make a meringue. When you make Italian meringue and in that small amount, I suggest you to start with whipping an egg white. Separate 1 egg and you will need just egg white. Be careful, no fats in egg whites, it's a requirement. And start to whip it. In a pot, I have a sugar and water already, and when my egg whites will be whipped, I will start to boil it till 118 degrees of Celsius. For that, I will use a thermometer to measure my temperature in the syrup. We are using Italian meringue because it's more stable and airy, because we cook it with the hot syrup. Okay, my egg whites already whipped and I will continue with syrup. I switch on my oven to medium heat. There is a small amount of water, only 30 grams of water and 50 grams of sugar. It's very, very small, just half of a cup of syrup. Don't mix it up, it's not necessary. Just wait. You can put inside a thermometer in your pot and wait a little bit till it will be 180 degrees. If you want that comes faster, just switch a little bit more heat in your oven and all the time measure the temperature. It's a hard exercise because it's small amount of the water and of the sugar. 100 degrees right now. I'm starting whipping again my egg whites. (110 degrees). My egg whites have to be in stiff peaks. 215 degrees. And it's almost enough. Your syrup gets a little bit yellow. And start to pour it very slowly. High speed for your mixer. And whip it till it gets more fluffy and stable and gets a little bit warm, not too hot. Whipping about 2-3 minutes, that will be enough for the mousse. You don't need stiff peaks of the meringue, you just need soft peaks for meringue, for in the mousses. Okay, the last seconds of the whipping, and it will be enough. The meringue, it's in correct texture. Switch up the mixer. And how you see, it's soft, it's not hard peaks. And we will need only a half of this for our mousse. So let's continue with the base. And now we will continue with base and whipping cream. We will whip a cream, and I prefer to do it in the tall glass because I have a small amount of the cream. And you can do it with a stand mixer or hand mixer, but if you use a small amount, then do it with hand mixer. Very important in mousses that you whip the cream very soft, in the soft peaks. You don't need it hard. It has to be airy and fluffy. Don't overbeat it. And that's it. You see how fast it was in the tall glass. We will repeat with raspberries and gelatin. I already melted gelatin, but I see I need a little bit more heated up. About gelatin, you know, you have to soak gelatin in the water and then melted it after 10-15 minutes. But it's a little bit cold here, that's why I will remelt it again. And about raspberries, you need already heated it on the pot and cooled down. It's an important rule that all berries, purees, everything what is fresh, what you use, it has to be heated already previously. And then just mix together berries with gelatin, with meringue, and add a whipped cream, and you will have fantastic light and fluffy raspberry mousse. I will melt gelatin. And we will add 40 grams of meringue to the berries. I have 200 berries here. In the description you will have recipe, don't worry at all. Add 40 grams meringue and the gelatin. I'm adding gelatin and mix with berries and meringue. Nice color. If you prefer, you can blend berries previously and make a smooth puree. And add a whipping cream. It's very light whipped cream. Always remember this rule. Mousses need a light whipped cream. And in this stage, don't use a mixer, just your hand and spatula or whip, and mix or combine whipped cream with your base. I hope right now you understood which is base and what is whipped cream. We always adding whipped cream, the last ingredient. And combine softly. Turn around your ball, it's easier to mix. Gelatin will stable all together. And now it's ready, and you can use it for the mousse cakes, for desserts. Today I'm gonna put it in the glass, and I will have fantastic dessert for my evening. You need to use a mousse exact moment when you prepare it. Don't store it, it will get stick with the gelatin. And right now I will put it on my glasses and decorate with the berries. Decorate with the berries and greens and put it in the fridge for 2-3 hours. Then will get thick and stable. And if you use it for the cake, you can put it in the freezer and store for 30 days. How cool is that, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will go and eat my dessert. And stay tuned, see you next week. Subscribe my channel and thumbs up, and you will see what's in the next video. Bye!